An hour in the morning and you'll spend the rest of the day looking for it. This quote reminds us that if you waste time in the morning, you'll end up feeling like you're always playing catch up with your day. The lost hour in the morning can be referring to oversleeping, procrastinating, or just mindlessly scrolling on social media as soon the moment you get up. This not enabling you to follow through with the daily activities and the daily goals and the responsibilities that you have throughout your day. By losing that first few hours in the morning, we often feel disorganized, rushed, and we just don't feel satisfied with our day. In this generation, we have more access to information and entertainment than we've ever had before. And if you can think about it, from laptops to smartphones to social media to streaming services, we're constantly bombarded with distractions. But if you just look up from your phone, from your devices, and try to be present and feel more grounded in the moments that you have throughout your day, you'll realize that your attention to detail, the attention you put into things are quite important. And you're kind of giving that away the more you get distracted with all the nuances of what the modern age of technology has given us. My version of productivity could be very different to yours, but if you wake up in the morning and you don't even make your bed, and you don't even get up at a certain time, and then you go straight to mindlessly scrolling on TikTok and just Instagram, from your bed to your couch, you start watching YouTube, and you're just binge watching Netflix in your pajamas, then let me tell you something, my friends. The overstimulation of bad habits that you have just done in that exact moment in time, from the moment you got up, is setting you up for the rest of your day. Getting up and doing nothing but actually just being on your phone and distracted by all these stimulations that technology has all around you, it makes you lazy. It really does. This sets you up for a very lazy day. And that lazy day then compounds into other bad habits that you perform during your day. You're losing instantly hours, maybe up to 5 to 6 hours from the moment you get up, to just doing absolutely nothing that contributes to your lifelong goals, but instead just only contributes to the instant gratification of dopamine that you're getting from doing those certain tasks at that certain moment. And because of the certain task you have just performed, imagine now you do this 365 days a year, losing about 3 to 4 hours every single day for a whole year is actually nearly 1,500 hours a year just lost. Hours that you'll never get back. I've heard this quote before: money comes and goes, but one thing that will never return is time. Think for a second right now. Oh wait, you've just lost that second. That's exactly how time is. The fact that you've clicked onto this video to spend your time a bit more wisely, to learn about the fact of why you waste time and why you shouldn't waste time. In this video, I want to try to change your perspectives on how you should utilize your time wiser. I want you to go away from this video and I want you to realize how precious time is. And I want you to create a habit how you'll utilize your time and start thinking more mindful about the time you spend. I was absolutely the worst at using my time. Since I was younger, from probably 2015 to 2021, I just woke up every single day and I just went on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I just spent all my time on social media, so consumed by it that it was becoming so toxic. And I probably had one of the worst social media addictions ever. And I think a lot of people struggle with this nowadays. And that's why I think it's such an important topic that I want to touch on today, is the fact that we spend so much of our time nowadays wasted on scrolling, looking at other people's lives, but not examining our own, and understanding that we should spend more time invested in the present of our own lives. When I used to have such a big social media addiction, I literally used to just wake up and do nothing else but just be on social media. And then by the end of the day, when I'd go to bed, I would be like, did I get any enjoyment, any fulfillment, any kind of sense of real happiness from just consuming social media all day? No, I didn't. I really just fell short of my own goals by really not implementing the things that I've wanted to do in my life. Consciously knew that I'd never get these hours back. I wasn't trying to develop any new skills. That was a sad realization for me, and that's what probably made me go through one of my worst mental health struggles of my life growing up. The sad thing is, though, I've realized that the majority of people are actually just addicted to the apps on their phones. The things, if you think about it, are designed exactly to lure you in through the designs and the processes to making it so simplified to use, are just dopamine filters. Like, you have to realize, behind the apps that you use, behind all the social media platforms, are brainy people that sit behind and be like, oh, we're gonna make this tab a bit more like this, so they'll be using it a bit more. It's the same thing with every single app you use. It's all tailored to hit your dopamine receptors, so you'll feel the sense of dopamine and gratification from using these apps and getting a notification, boom, boom, boom. That, my friends, is how they get you to start living on autopilot. And it really took me YouTube videos such as like this to really understand and be on a better self-development path where I feel more fulfilled from not being around devices or social media. I took the biggest dopamine detox of my life in the last year, where I've limited my social media to, I'd say maybe to like, which I was using 6 to 7 hours a day, to maybe like 1 hour or 40 minutes some days, because I absolutely don't like the idea of the overstimulation that you get from it, because it knows your brain down. It makes us dumb. There's a different argument there. Of course, if social media is your job to keep up with all this stuff, yes, 100%. But for a lot of people, that's not the case. The stats are 10% are creators, and literally 90% of people on the internet are just consumers, and they're not putting out content. They're not doing the things. They don't work on social media. And 90% that's consuming what the creators are putting out there. Half of the people that are creators are just putting out garbage to make themselves money, that are not thinking about benefiting other people and bringing value to people. They are just bringing value to themselves, and it's all just cash grabs. And that's all majority of social media has been for the last while. There are good out there, and the thing is, there is good YouTubers and good content creators, and those are the people that when I started listening to, it got me to push myself to even create videos such as this in the self-development space. I was so afraid of also creating for such a long time because of other people's opinions, but I realized the mission is much greater than what other people think. The mission here is to get as much knowledge, and even if this video can touch one person to understand that they should not be so dependent on their phones or dependent on the apps that they use and waste their time, I feel like my mission is complete. Well, I personally believe in practicing personal growth technique, something that I'm striving to learn something new every single day, that if changes me mentally and challenges me as a person. Every single person that's watching this video, I promote you not to live on autopilot and just practice some personal growth techniques for yourself. Something that you can strive to learn and develop yourself, and every single day to become the superior version of yourself. I personally have found the most happiness in my life by striving to learn something new every day, becoming more conscious of my journey in the process. Because being on self-development or striving to change yourself every single day to be at least 1% better is a process, and it's a process that you have to fall in love with. There's no end results. The reality is you literally have to just enjoy everything you do, even if it's mundane, even if it's boring. And you might seem out of the ordinary, you might seem a bit weird. Do not let that discourage you. I have thought about giving up on this path so many times when it feels lonely and it feels depressing and it feels like no one else understands the thoughts that you have, but that's fine. You're not alone. Most people talk about the fact that they're just bored, and that's why they overstimulate their brain with not doing the things that they actually really want to be doing, because those things seem hard. But the reality is, you will have a hard life both ways, right? You will have a hard life whether you strive to go through hardship and to be successful in life and doing the things that you actually truly have a desire to do, or you'll also have it hard if you stay stimulating your brain on social media all the time and consuming so much rubbish, filling your brain with garbage, and that you're dumbing yourself down for long-term negative effects. That's the thing. You'll have it hard both ways. Your life can either be hard up at the top, or your life can either be really hard up at the bottom. What hardship of life would you prefer? Everyone talks about being bored all the time, and the only reason people are bored is because they have not found a fulfillment in doing the things that they need to do, and the time they need to put into the progress, the grind, the mindset of actually finding a passion, finding a purposeful project, finding something that if they strive to do, and they would be happier. If you're a person that works a normal job and you're happy at that job, fair play. Majority of people don't enjoy that. Working 5 days a week to live for 2 days. There's a mindset shift that needs to be evaluated within yourself. And this is why I want to explain some personal growth activities that you need to understand, that needs to become nearly second nature to you, doing every day to get better results in your life. The more overall satisfaction, the quality of your life will improve if you implement some of these things. But the more I did some of these things, the belief of these things kicked it up a notch. And at the end of the day, all you have in life is really the belief that you have in the thing that you're doing or the process that you're taking. I established a morning routine that worked for me. I'm not saying this works for everyone, each to their own. Everyone develops different routines, but if you can take away anything from this video and implement something like this with a bit more discipline, you probably could be in a way happier position than what you are living like at this current moment. And maybe you need this and maybe you don't, but I feel like the information at hand is very valuable to understand what's my perspective of why I do the things I do. First one is set consistent times for sleeping and waking up. I wake up anywhere between 6 to 7 a.m. in the morning, and I sleep anywhere between 10 to 11. I don't really do the late nights going out partying, drinking anymore. I've been sober for at least 9 to 10 months, and that's what's allowed me to take a more of a self-development approach to everything I do. And I feel like that's what gives me a bit more authority to talk on camera, because I'm going through the process right now. And I feel like when you're trying to be in a more self-development path, you need to watch people that are on the same journey as you. It gives you a relatability, and it gives you a sense of these people can do it, so can I. And that's exactly the mindset I had when I was watching other YouTubers. And why I say consistent times for sleeping and waking up, because how you prepare the night before is what determines the next day for you. If you can get a good amount of quality of sleep and wake up feeling energized, this habit then enables you to craft your ideal day nearly day in, day out, because you've already established the biggest thing, which is sleep. And when you get up from sleep, I go to the gym very early, so I obviously have a protein shake or something like that. But I would say hydrate as much as possible. Try to get the first hour or 2 hours of your day at least 1 liter of water, because water is that thing that energizes you. And it's so simple, but just hydrate with water and just stay hydrated. You don't need these fancy hydration drinks. You don't need an energy drink. You don't need these other supplements as things that have artificial chemicals inside them. You just need to get up in the morning and just drink a liter of water. Generally, there's nothing that's better for you than just hydrating with water. After I hydrate with enough water, I go straight to a 10-minute meditation session. Sometimes it could be 20 minutes. It really depends on the day. But one thing I would say about meditation is this thing that allows me to go into my day a bit more focused, a bit more clarity, a bit more engaging in the goals and the personal growth activities that I have planned for myself. And I would say meditation like this. It's a thing that when you're exhaling and inhaling the breath, allowing yourself to focus on the fact that you are exhaling and inhaling, and the attention span that allows you to grow from that and allows you to develop the habit of focus. Focus is one of those skills that is so amazing to harness and be able to use to your advantage. And the more I meditate, the more I'm enabling myself to understand focus and attention span, the things that allows me to then focus on the certain things that actually will benefit my life for long term rather than instant gratification. And meditation is another thing that I want to get into in a whole different video. I want to make a whole guide on it. I want to show people the amazing benefits of meditation. And if you really want that video, comment down below, like this video, tell me meditation guide is something that you want to see. For my meditation session, I'm going into my day a lot more focused. And what I do is that I go to the gym as I try to get in early in the morning as much as possible. And I love just going to the gym in the morning, getting the hard thing done, which is basically your cardiovascular exercise, your endurance, all these things that will be able to make me mentally more tougher, on top of that physically tougher. And I really love the aspect how much it's changed my mental health. As a young kid, I went through depression a lot, and it was the fact that I went through depression that made me go into the gym and work on myself a bit more, that allowed me to be mentally and physically better as a person. Every single day I went to the gym, and every single time I trained, I count a lot of the fact of my mental well-being to going to the gym, exercising, into things such as fitness, because those antidepressants the doctors gave me didn't do anything. They just wasted my time and made me feel like a blob, lazy, unenthusiastic, still unmotivated. That still basically was depression. At the end of the day, I don't think depression can be cured with antidepressants. It can really just be helped with doing things mentally and physically for your mental well-being. I don't truly think there's anything or any medication that you can give someone for their mental health. The only thing is the natural remedies of life, which is the physical things you can do. Like if you think about primal times from 1,000 years ago, like the way people went out is by physical endurance, mental endurance, and the things that they had to conquer themselves in able for them to live a more fulfilling and happy life. And it's only nowadays because of the distractions of social media that the increases of why mental health is going down the drain. First of all, the social distractions that we have in our day and age. A few things that I've just mentioned. Having consistent time to sleep and wake up, getting up, meditating, and doing things such as just going to the gym. They're very simple, but they're the things that are going to be the things that help you, enable you to do better in your life, because actionable steps towards the goals you want in your life. If you don't believe me, try this for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Once you form a habit of you doing these things on a day-to-day basis, it's not the fact that you're doing these actions that will change you, but it will change your behavior of you identifying as this person that is now trying to look for better for themselves. And when you find the identity is what you're shifting your identity into, it's allowing you to then have the process of belief that you are on a path of doing better and feeling better for yourself, to establish a more fulfilling purpose. When I first started conquering my mornings first, and then I got everything else done, I realized that I had more enthusiasm and motivation for everything else that I did in my day. And that's why I feel like everyone should take the approach of focusing on the time that they get up in the morning rather than what they do throughout the day. And the few things you practice in the morning is going to set you up for your day. Realizing that establishing a routine is so important for your mental well-being and your physical well-being, is that sets you on a path of your goals. Instead of mindlessly scrolling all day, playing video games that bring you no fulfillment, and not feeling great about your life, the only way to turn this all around is to seek change in the daily activities that you do, because we're all a victim to our own patterns and the choices that we make. If you keep doing the same bad habits on a day-to-day basis, you're only going to see bad results in the long term. A few years from now, you're going to be like, what did I do with the last few years of my life? I now establish a great routine for waking up and doing simple things that give me joy now and feeling more fulfilled in my life. I can look back from 10 years from now and I could be like, I am happy now because I established a routine 10 years ago that works for me, that allows me to keep on engaging with personal growth activities that enable me to feel more fulfilled on a day-to-day basis. Because when you take control of that time, something happens, something really magical happens. Time actually slows down. You get to be more grounded, you get to be more present, you get to enjoy the 10 minutes that you're visualizing the fact that you are meditating, an hour that you're engaged in an amazing workout, that you can feel all your muscles expand because of that pump that you're getting. You gotta cherish and be more grateful about every moment that you have in life, because time is of the essence and you're only wasting it by giving your freedom away to devices such as scrolling on social media all day. Wake up every single day with intention. And that intention creates purpose. With that, I hope you'd spend your time wisely by subscribing to this YouTube channel, as I'm spending my time trying to create content that hopefully brings value to people's lives and positively impacts people's lives through understanding perspectives. And also just remember this one thing: don't quit your daydream.